Vietnam! Vietnam lovelies. We are at the Laguna, which if you watch me you probably know it's one of my favourite spots. This is generally where I pick you up at the beginning. I had to go back to the car and put my hat on, wearing my hair down today. And it's a gorgeous day, but it's just that little bit chilly. So happy with this new hat. I can put all my hair inside, I can put it on the outside. When you've got this much hair, finding the right hat makes you oh so very happy. Anyway, maybe you don't need lots of hair to be happy with the hat. It's the little things. So welcome to the Laguna de Santa Rosa, and I'm making the most of being able to hi Cosmic Buddha camera. Hey sweetheart, how are you? Lovely for you to be here. So happy to see you. It's a week since the holidays. It's a week since Thanksgiving, which is blowing my mind this morning. Even though we didn't. Oh look, that tree looks like I have a crown. I can just see it. See? Got like a tree growing out of my head here. Tree, I'm the roots. Anyway, I digress. I just came off a long writing stint at the coffee shop. The book is on its way. Anyway, lots going on. Oh, there's a beautiful bird just flew by. Wow. Anyway, the holidays, a week ago. Thanksgiving was a week ago. So no, I didn't celebrate. And in fact, that's where the book starts. It was a really kind of funky day for us. And I had to eat humble pie, not pumpkin pie. But this is what I wanted to ask you, because on Thanksgiving, I personally did a water fast. The family we usually join on Thanksgiving, which is the only thing I ever do, we're not gathering this year. So we decided to stay home, and I guess Samaj ate what he normally eats. He takes care of himself. Hi, Newly me. Oh, I love that, Newly me. Nice to meet you, sweetheart. So he did his thing, and I was water fasting. And people were like, wow, you know, you're depriving yourself, and I'll have what I want. If I want something to eat, I'll eat it. I totally understand that. I really do. I like to make my own rules. I really hate being told what to do, even by myself. But what I've realized is that even the rebel who won't abide by anyone else's boundaries needs to impose their own, because every action has a consequence. So yes, okay, treat yourself now, maybe pay later. It's a bit like investments, right? Oh, nice, Sienna. Nice to have you doing the classes, because it wouldn't be the same here without you. So it is. It's like investments of, you know, you can invest for short-term gain. And the chances are, if you're going to invest for short-term gain, then you're going to have a high net risk, right? Because you don't get short-term gains without that high risk. Or you can do long-term gain, but it's going to mean very little in the beginning, right? So change is the same way, and treating ourselves is the same way. So maybe you last week did what the hell you wanted. Maybe you had what you wanted, and fantastic. But the question I have for you is, how do you feel this week? Because isn't this the acid test, right? It's great to do what we want, but is that serving us in a way that we want, or is it sabotaging us? So what I've learned from this year of fasting, and I will follow up with a video about kind of what I've been doing. You know, I did it for the first 5 months. Again, it's blowing my mind that it's almost a year since the gap between Christmas and New Year, when Samaj joined me for a 3-day water fast, and I'd had the whisper that I was to start water fasting. I wasn't terribly happy about it. I never really am when I get a whisper. It's kind of how I know I've got to do it, because it's a whisper and I'm not very happy about it. That combination is oftentimes a powerful one. So I water fasted from January through to the beginning of June. Then I had my kidney stone, was in hospital and all of that stuff with surgeries. So for the next, and I never felt better, by the way. Like literally never in my life had felt better in body and mind. And it was difficult, you know. Fasting days were challenging. I wanted to eat, and eating days I didn't really want to eat. I learned so much about myself. But again, that's a different story, because what we're talking about today is whether the choices we make in the name of doing what we want and treating ourselves, how well are they serving us ultimately, right? So how well are they serving you? How do you feel today? Are you really, really happy you had that third slice of pumpkin pie? Can you still taste it on your tongue? Is it still bringing you absolute pleasure? Or are you kicking yourself and wearing it on your hips? And your pants weren't quite closed. And you just don't feel quite, well, you just don't feel quite how you want to. You see, today I can sit here a week later, and again, it's a fasting day today, and, I don't particularly like it. But you know what I don't like even less? I don't like feeling shitty about myself. And it's taken me personally to my 50th year on the bloody planet to really work out that I'm the one that stands between all of that, right? Let me take my glasses off. It's not so bright here. Right, so I'm the one that's in control of that. And that it's very much like exercise or anything else that we do. There's very little that we do that we don't have to put some effort in order to get the reward. And that quite often the effort is the hard part. The getting started is the hardest. And then the maintaining it. There just is no easy steps in doing it. But then again, how easy is it to feel so shitty about yourself? Because the one thing I got this year, well, one of many things I got at the beginning of this year, was I got a glimpse into the Pandora's box of my potential in my body and mind, and had a glimpse of feeling, as much as I don't like my fasting days, I was absolutely starting to look forward to them, because my body and mind were changing in a way that just made me feel, I just felt good. There's just, what more is there to be able to say than when you start to feel peace-filled from the inside? And it wasn't this thing about how I looked on the outside, though that was a benefit, right? So we don't deny that was a benefit, but it wasn't the purpose, it wasn't the driving force, and it was more than that. It was just so much more than that. And, we strive for control in so many, looking for the word, in so many different ways, let's just say, because I can't think of the word. In so many different ways, quite often the people around us trying to control them, trying to control situations, because we're out of control with ourselves, right? And so that's why I'm fasting. It's like the Yogi Bhajan saying of, when you least want, the day you don't want to do yoga is the day that you need it most. I try and use that in my life. The day I don't want to do something is possibly the day that I need it most. And isn't it so often the case that when you actually do go and do that thing, you fucking feel better afterwards? You go work out, you take the spin class, you fucking sweat your ass off, and then you're like, yeah, there's no feeling like it, right? But monkey mind will keep us trapped, thinking that we don't want to do it. And of course we don't want to do it. So we have to tap into how we're going to feel afterwards. And not just directly afterwards, but a week later, a month later. And look at it as to how that decision really affects your long-term goals. I was getting into the shower the other day. I think I mentioned this in one of the videos. And I've got this agreement with myself during fasting that if I'm eating, thanks. Oh, we've got low power on the stupid phone. Yes, newly me. It is. It's true, right? And a new you means a new way of thinking. So I got this agreement with myself that if I'm eating, feasting I call it, I'm either feasting or fasting, then I have to move. There's no question about it. And I've got a 30-minute workout that I do as my minimum, and that's that. So the other day, being the ever lawyer inside, I carved out of the definition. Well, maybe today I could take a rest. And I was naked, just about to get ready and get in the shower, and my body turned around and said to me, I kid you not, what if I said that? What if I just said, maybe tomorrow or today I'll take a rest? And I was like, wow, fair point. It turns up every single day, no matter how badly we treat it, no matter what we do to it. It turns up and it does its really bloody best for us with what we give it. And imagine just how much better it could do with just a little bit of help. Or even the lack of hindrance would be a start, right? So for many of us, it's not even help that would be a start. It would be if we stopped hindering ourselves, then that would be all the better as well. So so that's what I'm trying to do this year, is get out of my own way, and it's what I invite you to do. And this is one of the great questions, is to take something like last week and say, okay, I did what I wanted last week. How do I feel now? Did it work? Or if I show a little bit of restraint, how will I feel next week? Will I feel like, nice one, I've got something to build on? Like Christmas Day doesn't have to be so devastating, or all the holiday parties, because I can learn to say no. My next charge is saunas on Saturday and Sunday night. I will confess that our friend who hosts the sauna always has great treats after sauna. And of course you just sweated, so you've got to have some chips. And he has chocolates, and sometimes he has licorice, and sometimes someone brings some chocolate cake. And it's just really good. So this week when we go to sauna, I'm not having any treats, because I know that's one of my leaky areas. And it's not supporting how I want to feel. It's not about how I want to look, it's how I want to feel. And I got a glimpse this year of how potent that can be. And I think for many of us, we've only ever had the pain. So I'd love for you to just, do that exercise, journal it, think about it, however you do it. But just think about the decisions you made last week at Thanksgiving and how they feel with you today in kind of your long term, what you're up to. Now, I've got low battery on here, and I'm going to get on with my walk. It's a gorgeous day. I'm going to go pick Samaj up. He's riding into town. Shiv, can you please say hello to my girlfriend Connie? She loves you. I never get to check you. Oh, Connie, what's up, girl? Of course, I would love to say hi to you, and anyone else. This is not about me. I really hope that we're creating here as a community. And if I can't get to you live, which is what we've got Holler with $1 for on the Patreon page, that's patreon.com/holler. What we want to do is we want to get on the road. We want to come out to you. So we're not just saying hi to Connie. We're fucking there giving Connie a hug and saying thank you, and realizing that alone we can do so much, but together we're fucking powerful. We're so potent when we're together. And when we invite life force energy into our life, and when we take away the barriers that are holding us back, and when we start to slough off the layers, we start to realize that essential Buddha nature, that essential goodness that is inside every single one of us, that diamond that lies within. Isn't that what it's all about? So, Connie, Newly Me, everybody else that joined, I love you so much. I can't even tell you. And, I don't have the answers, or the answers. I don't get it right. I fuck up so much. That's where the book starts. It starts with me fucking up last Thanksgiving and having an argument with Samaj and eating humble pie, which I hate to eat. Life, right? We're human beings feeling our fucking way on the planet, but when we can do it together, and when we can come together and say we're fallible, we're flawed, and it's beautiful and it's perfect. Oh, you're welcome, Katie. Thank you for joining us. It's really lovely to have you here. That's when the miracles happen. I was just walking today, and I was thinking, I've walked miles this year, and sometimes with my kidney stone, like 2-inch steps, the tiniest little steps, couldn't come out here and walk. These little things that we take for granted, where the miracles begin. And when we can start to see that this is where the miracles begin, that when you can get up with breath in your body, with life force in your body, and you can take a shower, and you can get dressed, and you can face even the shittiest of days, there's the miracle right there. And we forget about it until it's taken away from us. So, counting our miracles, and then also looking at those treats and those boundaries that we have, and seeing how well they really do serve us, right? How well do yours serve you when you have that cupcake at the farmer's market that you've just got to have from the vegan people because they taste so good? How long does that fantastic sensation last? What's the... Sorry, time was going off. Anyway, I think we may have gone to another one. But anyway, that's the question, isn't it? So it's all about finding that peace within us, and it's painful getting there, and it's about us sharing the mishaps along the way as much as the joys and the challenges. We know the fucking joys and challenges, but what about the mishaps and how we get back up, and how much stronger we are when we get back up, and encouraging one another. So Thank you all for being here. As I said, if you love the channel, if you love the work we do, and you would love for us not to stress so much about where our rent is coming from, because seriously, it is a challenge. It truly is, but it's also a mission. So, then you can come over to patreon.com/holler. And for as little as $1 a month, you could be a part of bringing these amazing teachings to you in person and to the rest of the world. So, Newly, thank you as well, Newly Me. And that would be great, because alone we can do so much, but together we can do so much more. And when we leverage that power, when we all come together with just even the smallest amount, we can make huge changes in the world. But not just in the world, in our world. I love you so much. Sat now.